Working on a project called EnigmaCraft recently. The main concept of EnigmaCraft consists of obtaining new items by killing mobs as usual, with animals having lower drop rates than monsters. Items can be whether passive or active. Active items need to be triggered by crouching, while passive items passively apply effects, for example. There are 4 different types of item rarities, which are common, rare, epic and legendary. All non-legendary items can be salvaged into item dust, which then can be used to reroll items, buy items, or obtain a unique ability called Insta-Charge. The chances of items dropping are not extremely high, so don't be frustrated in case you do not get any item instantly. There are also different bosses, well 2 so far, that can randomly spawn in shape of any hostile mob. Bosses are really tough and possess a bunch of cool and unique abilities. Killing them is the only way to obtain legendary items. Additionally, crates and similar things can spawn randomly in the world, rewarding you with item dust and items, as well as also posing threats occasionally. Furthermore, all mobs do now have levels due to a leveling system. Different levels are indicated by particles and cause mobs to be tougher, faster and stronger. Okay, so I'll first show you every single common item I made. So common items do have these particles, just so you know. And this item, which is a strength charm, gives me a speed effect from time to gives me a strength effect from time to time. It's strength 2 for like 3 seconds or something, and that happens every 10 seconds or something. The next item is the jump charm. It gives me a permanent jump boost 2 effect, but only if I have it in my inventory. I don't need to hold it, but I just have to keep it in my inventory for it to work. So this is the speed charm. As you can see, the common items at the moment mostly consists of charms and stuff, but it gives me a permanent speed 1 effect, again if I just have it in my inventory, and sometimes leaves a little particle trail. So the next item is the feather charm. Let me quickly get this back in the chest. And yeah, the feather charm simply gives me slow falling from time to time, but that's about that one. Okay, and finally for the common items, we've got the Eternal Emerald, which just gives me an emerald every 20 seconds. I think I already used that in the intro. So now to showcase the next item, we're gonna need some husks. Experiments on. This is the Scout Charge. Throws back enemies and applies some damage. So next we have the All-Seeing Eye. You can see if I sneak holding this item, I get X-Ray. The Web of Slowness also is an active item. It simply applies like a really strong slowness effect to each nearby entity. And that's about it. The Eternal Diamond just does the same as the Eternal Emerald, but it has a higher cooldown and it uses diamonds instead of emeralds. So the Bouncer is an active item, but it just has nothing to do with combat actually. It allows you to jump a bit. I think it's pretty much fun. The Water Dryness also is an active item, and it only works on the water, as the name kind of suggests. So like, with a few husks. And you can see if I sneak underwater or swim, I apply damage to all nearby mobs. And for now, the last item of that category is the Feather of Speed, a passive item, and it only is activated if I hold it. And I just get, yeah, a pretty high speed effect. The epic category starts with the Eternal Netherite. So I don't think I need to explain anything at this point, but it simply is a copy of the Eternal Diamond and the Eternal Emerald. Yeah, just with Netherite and again a higher cooldown. So the hammer is one of my favorites. Well, actually this applies to many of the epic items. I nerfed it a bit recently, so now it has a higher cooldown. Why is that here? Because before it was way too strong. But yeah, it's still pretty nice. It does more damage than a netherite sword. Okay, so next we have the Celestial Drop, and it's one of my actual all-time favorites so far. I'm not gonna demonstrate the infinite ender pearl, but basically whenever you throw it, you get another ender pearl, which is an infinite ender pearl as well. So okay, now there's 2 more left. The magic apple gives you 1 out of 3 random status effects each 10 seconds, and that one remains for 10 seconds. The options are jump boost, speed, and regeneration 4. Okay, so now we've actually come to the legendary items, and this is the invincibility charm. It gives me an invincibility when I think it was 255 effect, yeah, each once in a while, and that's just extremely overpowered. Like nothing's gonna break that. And yeah, this was another item from the intro. It's just called Boom, and it makes kaboom. It's kind of, yeah, the whole thing, what it does. And I like it, explosions are fun. So this item is called the grinder, and let me go to survival real quick. So then you see, if I sneak and any item is nearby, I just get 30 levels. Yeah, that's completely absurd, but it was the best I could come up with for an item called the grinder. Okay, so the last one is probably my favorite legendary besides Boom. Well, actually, I guess Boom also is a competitor for the other thing, the Earthquake Brick. But however, the Skulk Orb just is a thing. You charge it once, and then it stays there forever. And it also does some critical damage. Like that cow was a level 5 cow, and level 5 entities have like 30 or 40 more health than usual ones. So yeah, it's also well, a quite nice item. Okay, so for now there are 4 different types of new entities, like loot boxes, and I'm gonna show you the loot box first. / summon armor undistant gift. So it simply gives you a bit item dust if you come near it. The second entity is an item gift that gives you a rare or common item. Yeah, that gives you a rare or common item. In this case it was the bouncer. So the 2 remaining things don't really have anything in common with crates or loot boxes, but they're still kind of nice. So that one's not really nice, honestly. It's rather mean. Because it just blows up. And this can spawn anywhere in the whole world. And the other one is a drill. And that one, like, it depends on the way you view it. Because if you're caught in that little pit here, it kind of sucks. But if it for some reason should have given you like diamonds or something, then it's a great addition to the game, I guess. Okay, so the last thing we need to talk about are bosses. This is a vampire boss, and it's pretty annoying. It can summon these blood bats that also happen to be included in the leveling system. It can turn into this mist cloud, doing damage and slowing nearby enemies. And it has a vampire bite attack, which you just saw. So the second boss I made is this boss called the Pelicanator. It can like smack me into the air and then do damage regardless of my resistance effect, so it could technically kill me now. It can do this kind of beam thing, and it can heal itself.